In this lecture, we're going to work on the swipe down. We already have the swipe up and we have the functionality for the swipe down, but we need to write the code now. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. Go to monodevelop and look for the player character script.cs. And as you can see, we already have the void jump down and we already have the call when we swipe down here. So we are already calling it. However, we're not doing anything with it. So let's add the logic to this. Now the logic to jump down is the opposite logic of the jump up. So press Command F on Mac or Control F on PC and look for jump up. Alright, as soon as you find the jump up, you can press down to look at the jump up function. And let's copy the code that we have here. Now we don't need to spawn a new strip, so just take anything that's above that. So A, B, and C. Alright, right click and copy this. And let's go to the jump down, press enter between the two opening and closing curly braces and paste it here. Alright, so now for the strips, instead of taking the next strip, we take the previous strip. Alright, so put negative equal 1, so we're removing 1. Since we're removing 1 every time to the strip current index, this can go below 0, and you don't want it to go below 0 because we cannot access an index within an array, which is the array of all the strips that we have, the potential strips, below 0. It has to be from 0 and above. So we're going to check if we are below 0. If strips current index is less than 0, then guess what do we do if it's less? Then we say that the strips current index is equal to 0, so that we stop it at 0 and then we return. Why do we return? Because we don't want to keep running that code. We don't want to go back because you cannot go back. We are at the beginning at this point. If it's 0, we are at the beginning of the level. We don't want to go behind the level. There's nothing there. We haven't created anything below the level. So just do that here. And now what's going on here for the jump target location? We don't want the next strip, we want the previous strip. So just write previous strip. And then here that was going to be previous as well. Alright. And the location would be, yes, minus the jump offset. Okay. And what we're going to do here is that the midway point, we're going to do this minus, this time is the opposite direction. And instead of doing that, it's going to be also the opposite direction. So copy this and paste it in front of it and a minus. All right, and remove that. So now we're doing the opposite. So we're removing from it. All right, next thing we want to do is take care of the logic for the jump down within the update. So go to the update method right here and locate the jump down right here. Now copy the code from the is jumping up, copy it and paste it below the to do inside of the is jumping down. All right, once you do that, let's modify this so that it says is jumping down instead. So that will be is jumping down here. All right, and that's pretty much it. Now we got to work on the logic. The logic is the opposite of what we have for the jump up. The simplest way to remove and go in the opposite direction is to just inverse the logic of the jump up. So we have a negative, we have a greater sign, so we're going to put a inferior sign here. Then we have a minus here, so we're going to put a plus. And then here we have a greater than, we're going to put inferior than. All right, so now this is the opposite logic. Save this and let's take a look at it in Unity. Now it might not work and we might have to tweak this, and let's take a look, but hopefully that does it. So let the cars pass by and swipe up so that we can go in the opposite direction. And now swipe down. There we go, perfect. It's actually doing the jump perfectly. All right, now there's only one problem, and you guys already see what it is that you don't want a backward jump like this. You want the chicken to look in the opposite direction when it does the jump, right? So let's work on that. Go back to the code. And within the jump down, as soon as you do the jump down, you want to rotate the character in the opposite direction. Press enter inside at the end right here and type mesh dot transform, because it's only the mesh, by the way. So let me show you what we're talking about. If you look in the chicken, you only want to change the mesh right here. That's the chicken itself. You don't want to move the camera or the lightings, just the actual model of the chicken. All right. So you'd go mesh.transform.local Euler angles, which are in degrees, and then here we'll put the new angle equals new vector 3, and we're going to put 0, 180 for the y so that it rotates 180 degrees, and 0 for the z, and save this. Now let's take a look at it in Unity. Press play, and now let's move up after the cars. Alright, so swiping up, and now I'm going to swipe down. There you go, it's perfect. Now I'm going to swipe up, and you guys see the problem now when I'm swiping up? It's still in the wrong direction, so guess what? We have to do the exact same thing for swiping up. Let's go back to swiping up. I'm just going to copy this line of code. Right click, copy, and then go to swipe up. Or, I'm sorry, jump up, and right here we're going to put the right direction. Instead of 180, we're going to put 0. So 0, 0, 0, and save this. Alright, now let's go back to Unity and press play. And let's do this. So I'm going to press jump up, okay, perfect, and down now. Alright, and back up, perfect, back down, back up. Alright, so far so good. Now let's take care of the other directions.